How to stop obsessing over a girl. Hi everyone, I'm Apollonia Ponti. I am your dating and relationship coach, founder of ApolloniaPonti.com. Today's video, I'm going to give you 8 tips on how to stop obsessing over a girl. And this happens often, and it is kind of the reality of things and what I see so much in my coaching business. And for you, the viewer that is watching, if this is something that you are going through, I encourage you to stay until the very end, as these are going to be some breakthrough tips that will help you overcome this overthinking feeling of a woman. Now, one of the biggest things that I've seen is obsession always leads into something else. Because you're obsessing over a woman, and I'm going to give you incidents and situations that you could be obsessing over a woman, where you are deeply depressed because you don't have her for a significant amount of time, where you are not open to growing because you've been impacted so much by this woman that you can't have, so you start obsessing over her. Or if you're in a relationship and your life is dependent on this woman, where it seems as though she is not happy with you because there's a feeling of this. Now, one of the biggest things when it comes to obsession is, out of my years of being in this practice, the number one thing is self-love. I actually did a video about self-love with one of my dear friends that I'll put up here on the cards that I really encourage you to watch. Because obsessing over someone means that you are dependent on somebody else. So your life is thriving off of someone else. So basically, that person is a lifeline for who you are. Now, obsession is not a way to handle getting a woman back. Obsession is not a way to heal your relationship. Obsession is not a way to better yourself in life. Obsession is a way that can get you to feel stuck in your relationship, in your life, and not want to move on. The biggest thing overall is when you are obsessing over a particular woman, there is no internal self-love for you. You have to live a life of abundance, of what I've talked about so much in this channel. And if this is your first time watching and coming to my channel, I encourage you to subscribe and watch a lot of these videos that I talk about. I have a playlist on here called the Personal Development Playlist. I would encourage you to watch that first. Now, because of this, you're attaching to outside resources, outside attachments of what love would be. And this is what leads a lot of people to overthinking, obsession. I would be better if I had her. When all in actuality, the only person that you need to become whole, to become better, is yourself. So in this video, I'm going to give you 8 tips on what to do moving forward that can help you start shifting your mindset and getting clarity on who you are. But I encourage you to do this because it takes work. It's not instant fix. It takes time and it takes dedication. Tip number 1 is see her for who she is, especially if you're dating a woman that doesn't want you anymore, but you continue to obsess over her. Okay, see her for who she is, meaning I want to ask you one question here is, why do you want someone who does not want you? Where is this rooted from? Tip number 2 is ask for support. All right, so I would ask your friends, family support, hire a coach, hire a psychiatrist, whatever you feel that you need. There's no shame in it. The more support that you have, the better. Tip number 3 is don't let her validate who you are, because when you attach to a certain person of monitoring, when you attach to a certain person because they give you life, they give you existence, they give you happiness, and then when that gets stolen away, they validate you, they control you. That's ultimately what it means. So don't let this person continue to validate you. And the way you can do this is by following some more of these tips. Tip number 4 is disconnect yourself. Disconnect yourself from things that probably remind you of her, or if you guys always go to this one restaurant on a Friday night before and you continue to go to that restaurant, stop doing those things. Stop encountering maybe her friends, stop hanging out with her best friend right now. Take some distance from the things that remind you of that person. Tip number 5 is you have to remember the bad times too. A lot of times when you experience a breakup even, but when you're particularly obsessing over someone, you always think about the good qualities of that person. That person is perfect for me. This person is amazing for me. But that person has a boyfriend, or that person doesn't want you, or that person also yelled at you and said bad things to you. Focus on the bad things as well, because when we obsess over something, we only think about us as a failure usually, and also the good things about that relationship. Tip number 6 is find something great about you. So what is the personality trait, or what do you offer in a relationship that is amazing, that you're easily can be trusted, that you give your full heart? But you might give your full heart, but I don't want you to give all of who you are personally, who keeps you going, who thrives personally in your life. You are the person to love yourself, because if you can't love yourself, it's hard to be capable, and it's not even feasible to love someone else fully if you don't even know how to love yourself. Tip number 7 is distract yourself at the moment. Take a trip somewhere that you've been wanting to go to. Let's just say you wanted to pick up and leave and go to the Bahamas for a weekend. If you can afford this, do something like that. Invest your time in learning how to play tennis if you've been wanting to do this. Pick up a guitar, taking salsa lessons, join a cooking class, go make some homemade chocolate truffles, take out a cookbook and cook. I mean, there's so many things that you can do. And yeah, I say cook because a lot of men actually that I know enjoy cooking. And it doesn't mean that you can't do the things that you're passionate about. So I want you to start thinking about, like, what is it that you've been wanting to try? Let's just say that you've been wanting to try jet skiing or parasailing or something like that. Now's the time to start doing these things and distracting yourself, becoming passionate about something, and putting in some time invested in you and your hobbies. Tip number 8 is the most important one of all, is find out what is behind your obsession. Is it depression? Is it anxiety? Is it life traps? Is it childhood past? Is it your past relationships? This will help you identify the root. And it's so important that we get to the root of what we have been programmed in. You know, when we grow up, we don't have control of certain things in our lives. And we end up getting programmed with what we think we need, what we think is right. But then when we grow into society and become an adult, we notice maybe our childhood wasn't the best. And now you have to untangle and unravel all of these subconscious beliefs and behaviors. And this is what I'm talking about. If this video brought some truth to you, I encourage you to visit the link below and book a private coaching session with me so we can discuss this further more, and I can help you and I can guide you and I try to get you past through it. Tip number 8 is something I do constantly with my clients. I do have some recommendations for you as well that I always talk about because I love them so much. One of the books is called Reinventing Your Life. If this has spoke to you, I really encourage you to pick this book up by Jeffrey E. Young. And then also too is continuing to watch maybe some more of my videos and going to my product page. There's something called Overcoming Neediness, Insecurities, and Fears. And this audio seminar is over an hour seminar with me that can help you move past some of these things that you're encountering right now. If you liked today's video, please give it a thumbs up. And as always, I'll see you again in the next one. Remember, you are always loved. Bye for now.